Good morning, everybody. Good to see you all. Welcome to our first of 30 ideas in 30 minutes. And yes, I know that the paper shows an hour because we can't ever do this in 30 minutes. So I've allotted an hour. So we've got four distinguished panel people up here. This afternoon, we will do this again at 2 o'clock, which will be four different people to give you a different aspect from them. But I'd like to first introduce who we've got. At the end of the table, we have Jan. Jan is with Crabtree's Garden Gate out of Marine St. Croix, Minnesota. Welcome and thank you so much. Next, we have Sandy Shull from Birds and Beesleys out of Helena, Montana. Helena? Okay. Helena. You can pronounce it so many ways. I was close, Sandy. Next, we have Rob Morin from the Birdhouse out of North Muskegon, Michigan. And last but not least, we got Butch Tetzlaff. I did it right. From the Bluebird Shed out of Bella Vista, Arkansas. So I thank you all for doing this. And I think you all are going to have the opportunity to learn some really interesting things. They're going to share with you things that have worked for them in their retail areas, whether it be in-store, Facebook. I mean, they're going to share a lot of different ideas. So I see a lot of you with notebooks, so that's great. So this is a perfect opportunity to take some new ideas home and, try them out. So I'm going to start at this end of the table. I'm going to bring the microphone down here and give it to Jan. And Jan, I will let you start. So y'all enjoy.
Sure.
And I will see you all again at 2.
Hi. Thanks, everybody. Is it on? Okay. Awesome. I can bring you a lot of ideas, which I've got a bunch of show and tell here, which I've already been criticized by my panel members. But I think the one thing we all are worrying and having to deal with the most is our employees right now. And I've got 9 employees at my store, in which those 9 have been with me almost all 21 years. I've lost very few, and some of them are just the kids that have gone off to college. And yet they still come back every summer. I think your employees are the most important tool that you have. They're your selling tools. They're your customer service. They're every aspect of your business. So to me, anything that you can do for your employees is the best thing you can do. A buck extra when it's possible. That it could be only $20 a week for you if they're only 20 hours a week, but how much does it cost you to retrain, find a new person, find all of that? So to me, I think if you do anything from this seminar, any of these seminars, please take care of your employees. I think we all know that that is far more important than anything else. My average wage is $18, and that includes my high school, college kids. My adults are 25. So, yeah. And I don't have a problem leaving the store in their hands. I am gone for 3 days on this thing, and I don't have one bit of a worry because those guys have been there. The 2 that are in charge while I'm there, or while I'm gone, have all been there with me from the very beginning 21 years ago. So, at that point, they run it better than I do. I'm there just panicking about things, and they are smooth, and the customers come to them, and they know that they know everything. So, yes, I pay well. I do, but I don't lose employees either, and that is so well worth it. And most of my employees are 25 and 30 hours a week, so they're not major full-time, and I don't have to do business benefits because all of them, this is they're a wife or somebody who doesn't need the benefits. Their husbands have that. So I am fortunate that way too. So I have a lucky little thing. I'll pass this on to the next guys. I've got plenty of show and tell here, but I wanted to say that I thought that is the most important thing that we're dealing with right now, especially not being able to get anybody to work.
Anybody other questions for her? Well, I also, adding to that, hire your customers. They already know the store.
Perfect.
And you don't have to put an ad out. So I'm a medium-sized store in Montana, and I'm all about kind of, what can we do impulsively? You already have people coming for bird seed. I have a mixture of an art gallery, souvenirs stores. I'm in on the mall, the walking mall, so I get a lot of turnover and tourists. For 19 years, I was just off the path for a block, and when I moved to the mall, the walking mall, it really made a difference. Location is huge. Like I say, location. So I started with impulsive items on my countertop, and I thought about, it really came down to this. You say, I have 20,000 sales a year. That's 20,000 people coming to your counter, opening up their wallets. And you say, if I could capture $5 off of half of those people, that'd be $50,000 of doing nothing besides having the right thing on the right space and right there. So that started me to think about. So I put $5 candy bars because we have huckleberries, and every time when someone bought one, I'm like, yes. Well, the new thing going on right now in my mind is stickers, and I'm gonna work both sides because I'm also a vendor and I have some stickers there. But to let you know, I put stickers on my counter and next to it, and since January I have 5 sticker distributors. I am one of them, providers, and I have sold $13,000 of stickers since January. No one came into the store to buy a sticker, and it's all impulsive. And what I find is it seems like it has a longer value. So people say, I'll put it on my water bottles, I'll put it on my things. Grandparents love them because they give them to their grandkids. They're not giving them sugar. These are the ones that I have, are birding ones. So people go like, oh, I've never seen a kestrel sticker before. So they're a little more unusual. So be thinking about stickers. They have different companies out there, depending on what your tourism is like. But I find, you'll see, interesting, like a men will go, hey kids, they got stickers up here. And all of a sudden they've put another $5 to $20 in your till, and you're just like, whoa, weird. But so think about that. I think about where you can get stickers, who you can get them from. Displays are huge. The hardest part about stickers is making sure you have a good display, so they don't have to work about it. But find them. Any questions?
What's your average price of your stickers?
Retail, they go 2 to 5. And so I don't see them price shopping very much. It's kind of more like, if you have a small one, people like it because it's like their water bottles are already full, but you only might get $2 for them. So I'm kind of moving towards, I had in my stickers that we do of my mother's drawings, I had mediums and I had smalls and larges, and it just was too complicated. You saw people going like, if I got a small bluebird, but a bigger kestrel, and I took that away from them, so all they have to decide is which bird they want. So now they're all the same, medium size. Retail would be $3. And I think the big thing is also some of those bigger companies require you to have like 50 sticker minimums. So you can get like 15 images of 50 stickers each and spend $1,000 and go, whoa. So look for those companies maybe that could do smaller minimums, because that's, unless you have a really good turnover.
Do you have a suggestion for a good supplier?
Yeah, you can come talk to me. I have one. But it just depends. Like I have some local people. I've got a guy called Zootown Press, and he's local artist in another town. Lake Shirt and TGT. Earth Art International is kind of fun. She's out from Washington, and she does really kind of eclectic kind of puzzles. Hers are a little higher end. There's another company called Northwest I just saw, but it's becoming easier and easier for people to make them.
What's the name of the one in Washington?
Earth Art International, yeah. And she does puzzles and stickers, and she's done coloring books for years that are really kind of fun, kind of adult coloring books. But yeah, get online and kind of look around or see who's, at trade shows. Some of those local things are kind of fun because you can say like, oh, these are my mother's drawings, or this is a guy from Montana versus I don't know who made this one. So it kind of depends on what your store is like. If you want to stick with just birds, or you want to stick with, specifically your town name, Birds and Beesleys. My mother's last name was Beesley, so that's where that comes from. So, okay, any other questions? And like I said, I do have a sticker booth, conveniently, on aisle 16.
Remind me of employees and the importance of it. We have a very small store in North Muskegon, Michigan, just across the lake from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And we have about 4 part-time employees, but we actually pay them more of a barter system where they take out their pay and bird supplies and dog and cat foods and things. We actually had one employee when we first started. At the end of the week, she wrote us a check, which was kind of nice. She took a lot of stuff with her, but I thought this works out quite well. She sends us a check every week. Anyway, and one of the ladies who works for us is my mother-in-law, so she's great to work with and does a good job for us. But I want to talk about probably the number one thing that we have in our store that's different from a lot of stores is what we call our Bird Bucks Club. And what we do is anybody coming into our store, a new customer, we ask them if they're a member of the Bird Bucks, and they're like, no, what is that? I said, well, you fill this card out with your name and address, and you'll be part of the club. And usually they're a little hesitant, like, no, I don't really want to get out the information. I said, well, it's free, it doesn't cost anything, and what we do is we keep track of your sales. Every time you buy something, we put down the amount in one of these little boxes here, less the sales tax. And after 6 purchases, on their 7th purchase, we add up the previous 6 and give them 10% of that towards their 7th as an in-store credit. And that usually convinces them to give us their name and address and phone number and email address, and they'll fill the card out. Then down below we have, do you want our newsletter? Are you interested in birding? We also do dog and cat foods, so we have pets, all. And then we have a little spot in here for their total. But it gives us a chance to actually, get their information into our system. And then when they come into the store, we keep all of the information, all the cards are kept at the end of the counter. So they don't need to carry anything or do anything, nothing in their wallet or their keychain. It's just a reminder that when they're buying stuff, they're getting a 10% discount. Usually it doesn't make much of an impact until they hit that 7th purchase. An average sale of, say, $30 to $40. When they fill the card up, they're looking at, close to a $200 card, so this gives them, $20 in in-store credit. That catches their attention, like, really, you're giving us $20? Yep, here you go, you get a chance to use your money. So they tend to latch onto that. When you give somebody a freebie, $20 bill, they're pretty happy about it. And again, it comes off in-store credit, so basically, if you're operating on a Keystone system, you're basically giving away $10 in merchandise, so it's not that much of money on our end, but it really helps us out. They come up to the counter, they pull their card, they hand it to us. We have their name and address, so you can greet them by name. You don't always recognize all of your customers, but it's always nice to have them, hi, Alice, or hi, John, good to see you again. So it's worked out really well for us. We also have some people who will staple cards together, and they'll have multiple cards, before they turn them in. It takes a bit of a catch your breath when they get a $100 bird bath and walk out the door. It's like, ugh. But you realize they also spent, $1,000 in your store too. So that's a pretty good customer, and it's worked out well for us. Anybody wants any cards? I got extra ones up here. You're more than welcome to pass it. Oh, okay.
Is there a one-time discount then, or what keeps it?
No, every time they come in the store, we keep track. Every time we keep track of their sales. I said there's 6 little boxes on here, so we put down their sale, less the sales tax. We don't give them the sales tax, but we put that amount on there. Then on their 7th purchase, so that's when it really catches our attention. It's like, whoa, okay, I've got a credit coming, yes, and they figure that out quite quickly. That's a pretty good deal for them, So I said it doesn't cost them anything, and they don't need to carry anything with them. So we keep everything on the counter.
I'm going to butt in. I'm sending mine around too. I do very similar to that. It's on birdseed only, though, only on their birdseed. And it's once they spend $100, they get $10 back. So that's a 10% discount on their birdseed. And these guys, they live by this. We'll go through anywhere between, I'd say 100 to 150 of these cards a month. So it's a considerable amount of those people coming back. I mean, how many people, when they buy our 30-pound bags or 20-pound bags, they've almost got the card filled up. And they're just like, whoa, you guys are giving me 10% off. So anyway.
And I do something similar, except I do just for seed, and you have to have 12 purchases. So they might buy 5, and it's only seed. So it might be $5, $30, whatever, and it reflects it. So in 12, we average it, it's about an 8% discount. And then people don't worry so much about seed being a little more expensive. The same thing like Rob was saying, you get to know your customers. But instead of like the big bag, people are already getting the discount. So instead of them getting it on a dollar price, I do it on a number price. So you have to be in my store 12 times to buy seed to get that, so that the little old lady only buys 5 pounds, gets the same discount based on her. So,
And we tell the customers you have to stay somewhat current. Normally, at least once a year, you have to come in to buy something, which isn't asking a lot, but most of the times people are in there, on a regular basis. But about once a year or so, we go through the card file and weed out the ones that are only one time. Maybe they're tourists coming in from out of state or something, but it's worked out well for us.
Do you put an expiration date on it? Say 1 year?
Well, we put the amount and the date in each one of the little boxes, and we have QuickBooks on our system, so it keeps track of the dates on there as well. In fact, if somebody forgets, that, oh, I didn't pull my card last time, we can go back in the system and check where they bought stuff. So it's not critical that they pull their card every single time, although my wife and I are pretty good about asking them, do you have your Bird Bucks card? Oh, yeah, that's right. And they go down the counter and grab it. So again, it worked out well for us.
Yeah. How's it going?
Did they make a new card after they received the 7th? Then is that
Yes,
the same?
yes.
They
Every
get a whole
time.
new card and start over?
Yep, we usually give their amount, then we tear the card up and toss it in the garbage so they don't, it's not there. But again, some people staple 3 or 4 of them together and keep adding on to it as well.
So
And
you
sometimes,
record the 7th one in the next card.
sometimes if it goes over, yeah, we'll start the difference, we'll put it onto the next card. If they have a $20 credit and they're buying $18 worth of bird seed, we'll give them the $2 carryover or whatever. But usually people will use up their whole credit and then some.
Yeah. Along those lines, in terms of promotions, one of the things that our store started doing right from the get-go was a birthday card program. Okay, we absolutely love it. I don't know if you guys keep track of the number of visitors and the number of people that purchase in your store. As they're walking in, you literally just tick them off and say, I've got this number of people. I'd highly recommend doing that, because that way you can at least check some ROI when you're doing your advertising out there and whatever you happen to be doing. It's easy for us to check because we know exactly how many people, the birthday card program went out to that particular month. We just send it out on the first of the month. It's good for the entire month. They can come in and bring it. It's a discount off of one item, but our clientele, just I'm sure like many of you, is median age of 70, right? I mean, they're older. We do it the old-fashioned way. We don't do the email. We literally do a snail mail card to them in the car. We just print them off as a postcard thing in the store. It's real easy to do, but we'll snail mail it out to folks. It works out real well. Our ROI is 350% on the thing. So, I mean, we're talking serious ROI on these. So it works out pretty well, because nobody ever just comes in and buys their one thing. They load up. They say, oh, it's my birthday. And they kind of treat themselves. So it really is kind of a nice thing. So that's a real nice thing to do. So yes, definitely, if you can, keep track of the number of visitors, number of people purchase in your store, and that was it's been a real good promotion for us.
keep track of the names.
We're splitting the system. I mean, just like you talked about. It just goes in the POS system.
Some people check out, you ask them for their information this time.
Yeah, exactly. We just ask for the birthday right up front there. We just tell them we got a birthday discount card. If they're interested, we just need the month of your birthday. So it's obviously, nobody really cares if they're giving you January. They don't want to give you the month, day, or the year, right? And a lot of complaints go, no. Don't listen to it anyway. The month of the year.
What's the discount you give them then?
15% off.
15.
Yeah.
Off of one item, you say?
Yeah, just one item in the store, yeah. So it's just a little birthday present to themselves. Works out pretty well.
How many of you guys do gift cards in your store? And how many of you do it on a plastic card? Like a charge card? Oh. All of us that do it this way, we've found the bigger the card, the better. When they have to have that in their purse every single day, and they see your name every single day, even if they don't come to your store, they're remembering, oh yeah, Crabtrees. So I highly recommend on your gift cards, don't make them small, don't be considerate and think that it can go into their wallet. Be bold and beautiful, okay? And then I change the color out. So during parts of the season, I change it out, and then I find out, when they bought it, that kind of stuff. But there's never a customer who comes in and if they had a $50 gift card, only spend $50. It's like his birthday card. They always spend more. And you know that they take their time to find that right thing that came from that right person. So how many times do they tell everybody, look what I got from Crabtree's one more time? Now, the other thing that we do is we gift wrap it so that it goes to the customer like that. So now I'm making it even bigger and better and more beautiful. And when they get this bag, the women are like, oh, it's from Crabtree's. So they're already excited. They don't even care how much the dollar amount of the gift card. It could be a $10 gift card. But they don't care. They're already excited about being able to go to Crabtree's and buy something. So, and along with that 10%, I do a lot of 10% one item in my advertising. When I advertise any ad that goes out in newspaper, in anything out there, at the bottom it says, bring in this ad and you get a 10% discount off of one item. Well, dang, it's only a couple of bucks, but you find out if that advertising was worthwhile or not. You physically have that ad back in your store and you can add it up after a month of it being advertised and go, geez, I only got 3 back. I'm not going to do that one again. So you really find out exactly who is going to come from what advertising agency that you just worked with, or newspaper, or whatever. There you go.
Anybody got questions for her?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you or many give gift cards in lieu of donations?
Yes. I don't do it for high value. Sometimes what I'll do is if I've got an item I haven't been able to sell and it's small, I'll put it with the gift card. So when they go to the silent auction or whatever, there's a physical thing there that they have the gift card with. And it shows up better than people who have gift card, gift card, gift card, gift card. Or they'll have a bid sheet somewhere that just says gift card and your name on it. That doesn't show up. So I do, even if it's a silly little 1-pound bag of birdseed with the gift card, at least it's something sitting there at that silent auction or at that donation somewhere that says my name, and they'll see it before they'll see 15 other gift cards.
I also do this same thing. I do what we call Beesley Bucks. So in Montana, a gift certificate cannot expire. It is illegal for a gift certificate to expire. So, but if you do a coupon, which I call like the Beesley Bucks, I can put an expiration date on that. So I have them as a different color. They look different. So if someone comes in, you can then tell, which, like if a conference is coming in, they want 10% off, or they want something. Sometimes I'll give the whole group, Beesley Bucks. So, because we are stuck with not being able to expire our gift certificates. Facebook, I know all of us or most of us are doing Facebook. I am not a Facebook person. I hire someone to be my Facebook person. It looks like I'm a Facebook person. People think I've answered all their questions, but I've hired a good Facebook person to help me with that. And one of the most popular things is what we call Ask Sandy. So I do an Ask Sandy video, and it's kind of like, what is the question of the week, what's going on? So my Facebook person will call and go, I'm coming down, get ready, 10 minutes. You better have 3 videos in your mind. So we literally take a phone, and it's like, and I started, hi, I'm Sandy with Birds and Beesleys. What's the Ask Sandy question? It's like, well, should I take my hummingbird feeder down? And then you give them your little 30-second pitch about the hummingbird feeder. As my Facebook person would say, I get lots of love. Every time I do a video, people are like, oh, I saw that we should take this down. Or, that's how we educate people. Or you tell it's like, it's time to clean out your bird bath and get your heated one out. And by the way, if you don't have a heated one, we got plenty of them. So people really do a lot of response to that. And it just kind of gives you a way to be the expert, which we already are. And it's just another medium, and it's random. It's not like every Friday. It's not every month. It's just kind of when we see there's a question or we remember that we should do it. But it gets a lot of attention, and people say, well, you told me I should do this. I'm like, okay, keep talking. Which video did you see? I don't even look at the videos. So, but any questions on that? Just random. I mean, I might do it once a month. I might do it 3 times in a month. I don't I don't do it every week because one, I don't think I have that much to say. You know, birds are only doing so much. It tends to be more bird related than, I have an art gallery and kind of souvenir kind of thing, so it's more, the videos are more about something to do with the birds. I do lots of Facebook for the art thing and Instagram and those kind of things, but so that way I don't get caught into having to be there. It's like, well, you weren't there last week.
I'm living off some.
That's right.
I also wanted to add on the personalized gift cards. We print them off as well, same sort of setup. But we have ours, some of them are already pre-printed in $5, $10, $15, $20 increments, so we can hand them out right there at the counter if they want to, purchase them at that point in time. But also, if they'd like to wait a little bit, we can personalize them with, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from Joe and Sandy to, Frank and Diane or whatever. But some people really like that personalized touch on their gift cards. It's more than just the plastic, here's $20 or whatever. I want to talk next about our we call it our holiday tour. And one of the things we like about this is that you're always trying to get new people into your store, people that, go by your store all the time but never stop in. And what we've done is we've taken about a dozen merchants that are around our area. We're on the Christmas on the north side, we call it. We've got these, and they're a diverse group of retailers, flower shops, pizza parlor, candle shop, hair salon, jewelers. We've gotten together and said, let's share our customer base with each other. So what we've done is everyone's put this little logo on the flyer, and then we've got the flyers up on the counters, and we also mail them to our customers and saying, if you'll come around on these 3 days, I think this was November 14th, 15th, and 16th, and then get a stamp, just like they have the stamps out here on the little bingo cards. For every time you visit one of these stores, you get a stamp on your card. And then if you get, I think in this case this is one of our better years, we had 15 merchants on here. If you get 10 stamps out of the 15, you can turn that in to the last person you stop at. And then at the end of the 3 days of sales, we have drawings. Every merchant has some gift or whatever that they donate. So actually we've had usually 200 to 300 people will complete the cards. And the chances of winning are, 15 prizes. Pretty good, a lot better than the, Powerball or whatever. So we've had a lot of winners, and people have been quite pleased with the fact that they've, won a prize. And usually also during the tour time they stop, we'll have specials going on during that time as well. So it's amazing the amount of people that come into your store that normally wouldn't. They just don't think about it. I've had people go by the store many, many times. They stop in and say, boy, I've driven by here 100 times, just never stopped in before. I'm glad you guys did this. You got a cute store here. Would you mind if I look around a little bit? No, by all means, look around a little bit. We'd love it. So, yes, question?
When do you do that?
Typically we've done it about the middle of November, just before the big, buying season. This one I think ran, like I said, November 14th, 15th, and 16th. Usually a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
About the same this year? Same time this year?
Well, the last couple of years we haven't done it because of COVID. So this one I think is actually dated 2013, but it was probably the most people we had with 15. Usually we have about 10 or 12 of the merchants. So we get together 3 weeks prior to this. Everybody kicks in, $20 to get flyers printed up, and maybe do an advertising in the local paper or whatever.
Are you going to do it this year?
I don't know. We're talking about it. Yeah, it's getting kind of late this year. We'll probably do it again. I said we've taken the last couple of years off because of the COVID deal, and surprisingly, though, we were talking about this on the way down here. I don't know about you guys, but we've had a couple of bang-up years. People have been staying home, feeding their birds, and I feel sorry for some of the people that have restaurants and bars and taverns, but we've had a couple of really good years. So, but this really does get more people into your store that you normally wouldn't see.
Is that a mailer?
We've done mailings, we've done emails. We're talking about more maybe with what's it called? Instagram. I'm old, right? But again, we've done mailers. Normally we set them out on our counter so customers come in, we make sure they have them in their hand.
Do you
actually have a parade and we do a wine stroll. And they can come into each store and they can fill out, and then each store is gonna give away a gift, and we try to get a minimum so that all 6 stores are gonna give away $50 worth of
You know, I think
Do a minimum on
we
your gifts?
don't, but I think that's probably about the average of the gift is
Yeah.
around $50 a store, roughly.
And it does bring.
Oh, yeah,
in.
people that normally
Very
wouldn't stop your store.
similar to what you do,
Yep.
what we do, and so every store taking part does that.
Yeah, we've been quite pleased with the results of it, so. Yeah.
We do it also, but we do it in July. I'm a garden store besides a bird store, and July is just a brutal month. Because, customers, you guys all expect the flowers and everything to be all marked down, low and dirty, and it gives us one last shot at being able to, sell a few things that aren't quite down and dirty yet. So we do it actually in July, and it's all the different garden stores up and down the St. Croix Valley up where I'm at. So it's a garden tour of the different garden stores and garden centers. And it gets really fun, and we do it over 2 weekends, and it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if it's a rainy weekend or whatever happens. But yeah, it's extremely successful. It took July from being a brutal month to a pretty decent month. So.
All right. Along the lines of keeping track of the number of people coming into your store, one of the things you can do with that is to find out what your slowest day is, and then run some kind of a promotion during your slowest day. And when we first opened up, we've only been open 4 years. And when we first opened up, we discovered Wednesdays were incredibly slow. We had absolutely no clue. We started talking to some folks, and lo and behold, we discovered one of our competitors has a senior discount day on Wednesdays. So it's like, okay, well, we're going to have to do something about this one. So we started offering what we call Seed Saver Wednesdays, 10% off on all seed, all loose seed, every Wednesday, and we've just been doing it ever since. Suddenly our Wednesdays were no longer the slowest days. It turned out to be one of our best days. All right, so it was right up there with Saturdays, which are always pretty high. So it was a real good opportunity to do it that way. We offer just once a week. One of the things when you offer discounts, one of the things you have to really be careful of is you don't want to be discounting your best customers. All right, your best customers are your best customers. They're going to come into the store no matter what, right? Okay, so your top end guys, you don't have to give a discount to get in the store. The bottom end guys, they're only going to be discounted people anyway, right? So those aren't the key guys you're really trying to attract. It's that middle batch in there that's kind of the hardest ones to figure out. But obviously, like I said, you don't want to just be giving away money on the table to your from your best customers. So kind of what this allowed us to do was, for the price sensitive folks, they would come in on Wednesday. Okay, and everybody else, it was just convenient. They just came in when it was convenient, and they just paid full price. They didn't have to worry about it. So it was a real nice thing, because then it allowed kind of both segments, to benefit from the store and that way. So other possibilities, what ended up happening is that a couple of years later, we discovered Thursdays were our slowest day now. Okay, so what do? Well, my wife came up with this idea: why don't we bring our dog to work? We'll bring our dog to work on Thursday. It won't stress him out too much because it's a slow day anyway, and maybe that generates some business. Thursday is now one of our better days. People come in just to see our dog. So if you have an opportunity for something like that, that's a real good possibility. Obviously, it's cheap, doesn't cost us anything. The word of mouth is fantastic, and people literally just come in sometimes to see the dog, and of course they, we're tracking the numbers, so we know Thursdays are good as well. So. Speaking of advertising, I haven't paid for advertising in 18 months. Okay, we pretty much shut it down when COVID hit. We do everything by word of mouth these days. A friend of mine who used to be the marketing VP of a professional hockey team once told me, he said, cheap is good, free is better. Okay, well, I can add on to that one. If they can pay you to advertise, why not? I mean, it's like you were talking about, some of the folks that are actually your employees, they're sometimes writing you a check. Okay, well, that's even better yet. Okay, we're in a small market and a small store, but we've also got a small newspaper. So what periodically I would do was dump out information to the editor and say, here's an interesting article you might be considering. She'd come in and interview me once a quarter, full page spread. Okay, yeah. All right, didn't cost me a dime. All right, and suddenly I've got 18 column inches of newsprint where I could have been paying, for this dinky little thing that nobody's going to pay any attention to. Now suddenly people are reading it like crazy, walking in, hey, saw your article the other day. Yeah, cool, fantastic. That generates business like crazy doing it that way. Another possibility is we have there's a kind of a tourist magazine that comes out in our area, done by the same folks, okay? And they were actually paying me to write the article. So suddenly I was making income doing my advertising. So that was real good because being the expert, people came to me and I could write an expert article about the birds in the area or such things like that. And that went out all over the place. And like I said, suddenly they were paying us to do our own advertising. So get a little creative with stuff like that. Don't always think that you have to be paying constantly for stuff. It's a possibility you can turn the tables a little bit and enjoy some benefits that way too.
I just know that you said you gave discounts to people that aren't regulars in your store, and the people that are your best customers, you don't. That's what you said.
No. What I said was try not to give discounts to your best customers. So if you automatically are giving, it's kind of a tough thing. Wednesday ends up being a kind of an odd day. Okay, so in the sense that we definitely have pretty good sales that day. And there are some of our good customers will come in on Wednesdays, because it just happens to fall in a time when they actually want to shop. But for the most part, the folks that come in are really more your price-sensitive folks. Okay, like I said, your best customer is just going to come in when it's ever convenient. They really don't care what the price is. They want to shop at your store. So it works out pretty well that way for us. So yeah.
So for the basically the reaching out to editors and providing kind of expert content, how are you soliciting your store without soliciting your store? You kind of know what I mean? Like making it organic so it doesn't look like it's a big giant commercial.
Yeah, no. So you got to do something that's worthwhile that the people actually want to read about. Okay, International Migratory Bird Day, classic example. You're giving information about the birds that people can see out there, and then that type of an event that's going on. You can talk about hummingbirds. Hummingbirds are back in the area, yada yada. Those kinds of things. Sometimes when we first opened, it was literally information about the store and our background, how we got into it, that sort of thing, because more of a human interest type story that people were interested in general. Again, like I said, it's kind of a small market, so they were kind of, interested in those kind of human interest stories. Now, I realize everybody can't do this, sort of thing, so these ideas kind of cater to a particular type of individual, but it might click some other ideas in your head that you might be able to do. Honestly, I am not a fan of call to actions. There are marketing people out there that are just going to, want to slit my throat on that one but to me, that becomes an advertisement at that point. Exactly. So I shut down all call to action kind of stuff, and it's literally, oftentimes they'll say, something about the bluebird shed located in such and such place. But yeah, exactly. It just becomes informative at that point, but it's hardly a call to action by any stretch. Yeah, I really do try my best to keep the expertise aspect and the business aspect separate. They play together, dovetail, but if you come across as an expert, you're for the birds, they forget about the business side and just give you the money. So it's really kind of a fine line to walk, but it's better than pushing them, It really is better than pushing them. So they'll let them come to you. Some of those folks we've got are just loyal that way because of it, So it's good, yeah. Yeah, I'll just stop with that and let other folks talk. So.
I'm going to try to go down another path. When you're doing displays in your store, make your customer realize that you believe in something and that it truly is. I call them statement displays, and I'm going to pass this picture around. I grabbed it quick before I left the store. Stack up your stock. Like in this case, it's the Squirrel Buster. We believe in the Squirrel Buster. I'm a standalone store on about 45-mile stretch of a federal scenic byway. They come from the Twin Cities. It's a half an hour drive. These people walk in and they haven't been able to shop for a half an hour. Oh, gee. So now they're going to grab anything and everything in the store, but they still like the knowledge that we all provide in the bird part. And so what we do is we stack out our squirrel busters, whatever we've got in stock. We're trying to tell them right away, we believe in it, we've got this much. We've got the video right there that's showing them exactly how to do it. But I think you need to tell your customer that you believe in it, it's the right thing, it works. Other customers will stand there and say, hey, that works. It really helps to sell it without even you standing there selling the item. Or if they do stop in front of it and they see all these squirrel busters, you say, have you seen it? Have you figured out what it does? This is how it stops the squirrels. It gives you an easy walk in to talk to a customer instead of the, what can I do for you? How can I help you type thing. You just start in a casual conversation. And then once they purchase any bird feeder in my store, we always give them the appropriate bird seed, a 1-pound bag of the appropriate bird seed for that bird feeder. We found the very first year we were open how many people came back and said, well, that bird feeder didn't work. And the first question we'd ask them is, well, what bird seed did you put in it? I had a thistle feeder and a lady put corn in it. We had, and then the opposite, a peanut feeder, and she put thistle in it. And it screamed to us that we need to tell these people this is what you need to do. And 1 pound of your bird seed, your special thing that you think is the best for that specific feeder, they think you are just the most wonderful person. And every time they come back, they go, now you gave me bird seed to go in that feeder and that really worked. What bird seed was it again? And so you always know what bird seed you put in that feeder if they tell you what the feeder is. So it's not like you're trying to guess, well, what did I give her? Okay, so it's usually we'll have a straight thistle, we'll have a finch blend, we'll have what we call our Wayne's mix, which is a really good bird seed with no filler, and then sunflower seed for all the mesh feeders. And it's just been wonderful for getting those customers to come back to the most expensive thing they're going to spend all their money on is the bird seed, not the feeder. Any questions?
We do that too. We do a lot of gifts. So I'm always like, if someone's doing a gift, give them free bird seeds so their person can go hang it up right then after they open it up. So some of the question was, what do you do about events? How do you get free advertising? I'm like the queen of free advertising. If I haven't been on the front page of the paper within 3 months, I'm doing something wrong. And you get to be the person that the media people want somebody easy. So you either are known for like, yes, I can call, she's always available. They're always doing something fun for the community. So I try to think of different events that will happen. Like, for instance, right now we're doing the Audubon seed sale. So we sell seed for Audubon. Instead of them calling up, we just say, come in, tell us that you're, an Audubon member. And then we tack a little bit of money on to the bag. And so we give some money from, they pay a little bit more for that experience. And then we also donate some for it. So we donate $2 on every bag we sell. They pay $3 more in every bag, but it brings people in because like, oh, I want to get my bird seed, and it's like a one-time. Some of those Audubon folks only buy bird seed once a year. Like for me, like my mom, when she turned 80, it was like, what are we gonna do? How do you have a party? You don't want to just have a party. So I thought the library was doing some remodeling, and we were across from the library, and I said, well, this is what we're gonna do. If you come in and sign Jane's birthday card, I'll pay $1 for every signature get. I'll donate $1 to the library. I had people come in like, I don't know who Jane is, but I love the library, And then they're like, well, this is a cool store. So of course, not only do we got 500 people coming in to sign the birthday card. So that's 500 people in the store, and it's February. So it's not like it's a busy time. And it was her birthday in February. And then, of course, then the media came by and said, what do you need? And so then someone else said, well, you should have a cake contest. So the bakeries decided to have a cake contest. And someone said, well, who are your judges going to be? And we're like, Well, someone said, let's get the mayor. He's always at the brewery next door. So we went over and said, hey, do you want to do that? And so, I mean, we don't have a small town. We have like 40,000 people, but it's a small community. So think of things that are already happening. Like we have the Raptor folks come before COVID, every first Friday. They would come down with their birds every Friday night. You know, it doesn't cost me anything. People love to see the birds. So think about things that are happening in your area that you can jump onto, or things you can create. We are all about, you know, people love to give money to other people. And so then you look at the good person like, oh, you're so nice. You know, you gave money to the library. I'm like, yeah, but 500 people for $1 a piece came in my store. You can't get anything cheaper than that. So.
Okay, I told you we're in a small community. Actually, Muskegon's a pretty good-sized town, but we're in North Muskegon, which is a suburb, and it's a small town. There's only 3 roads that come into our community, basically, and we're on the main one, so we get a fair amount of traffic going past our store. And fortunately for us, when we bought the store, there was a signboard on the front. It's an old-fashioned one. You have to actually pick the letters on and off and put on there, but we're always putting whatever special we could have, or in this case, we got some jigsaw puzzles the other day. They've been out of them for a long time, so I'll definitely have that on the signboard. The big box stores are out of dog and cat foods right now. We sell that, so I'll definitely we have plenty on our shelves. Please stop in. But I also find, I've talked to a lot of people, and if you're constantly just putting something out there that's on sale or a special, whatever, they're going to just kind of, you know, glaze over and keep going. So I try to inject a little bit of humor now and then on that signboard so that they're looking for that one little gem every now and then to make them smile. A couple of my better ones I've had, I had up there a few years ago, don't forget your mother-in-law this Mother's Day. And then there was like space, bat houses on sale. We sold a lot of bat houses, believe it or not. So, I ran that by my mother-in-law to make sure she was okay with it. Yeah, that's fine, she said. So, yeah, no, I didn't do that. Another one I had is, again, it's a small community, and I had welcome to North Muskegon, you know, home of 3,676 happy people and 2 crabby ones. And I've actually had people stop in. They want to know who those crabby people were, you know, or they knew who they were. I know those guys, you know. So, again, just putting a little humor out there. A newsletter, or in our case, the signboard, has really helped I think our people stop in. They look for that, you know, that every now and then. And you can get these ideas off from Alexa. You know, Alexa, tell me a bird joke, and she'll rattle off 2 or 3 things. So just an idea of something you might want to think about. My business card says Rob Moran, president/custodian on there, you know, so just let me feel smile.
Yeah, a little eclectic humor like that is good. One of my favorite shirts I love to wear to work, it's got the logo on the back. It says, if I were a bird, I know who I'd poop on. People absolutely, yeah, people absolutely love that one, and they can take it however they want to and go with it. So, one of the things we did when we very first opened up is we lacked legitimacy. Okay, I don't know how many brand new kind of store owners we've got in here, but as a new store, you just really don't have legitimacy in the community, and we needed to establish some kind of word of mouth legitimacy. So, it turned out our local Bluebird Society was real active in the community. And we partnered with them right off the bat. And you're talking about kind of free advertising with stuff, you know, along those kinds of events. We carry their Bluebird boxes now in stock. We are the sole provider of Bella Vista Bluebird Society boxes at our store. Everybody's got to come to our store in order to get one now. The Bluebird Society do the installation, okay, so it's kind of a win-win. It's a big money raiser for them. That's a fundraiser for them. Obviously, we're getting store traffic by word of mouth, and a legitimate source of word of mouth, and that was the real nice thing. It's really worked out well as a good thing. We become the experts as well in a lot of ways, and play to your strengths that way is what I would recommend folks do. In the sense that, for me, my background is actually ornithology. It's not retail. My wife's the marketer for the most part, and I pretty much do everything else. But my background is ornithology, and we play to that strength. It's what we can provide to the community. So one of the things we do is we do a lot of bird research actually in the community. We have a monthly bird count that we do. We patterned it after Cornell's Project Feeder Watch concept. Okay, Project Feeder Watch only runs, basically through the winter time, if you're familiar with that. We decided to keep it going, so we do that same Project Feeder Watch concept over 2 days, once a month, and we've done it for the last 29 months now, and it's really good. What ends up happening is people bring their sheets back into the store, tally up all the bird counts and stuff like that, and they walk out with whatever it happens to be. Some of them will actually come in ahead of time. They know when monthly bird count is, and they say, I got to fill up my feeders because it's monthly bird count. So it is driving traffic. So do those kinds of things. A friend of mine and I have partnered down at University of Arkansas. She's an ornithologist down there. We're doing bluebird research as well, and that's become a really good thing to do within the community as well. Now, again, not everybody can do this one, right? I've got a federal and state bird banding permit, okay? So, I mean, that's not something everybody can kind of play to. I get that. But the point I'm trying to make is play to your strengths, okay? Even if it's a real eclectic, specific kind of strength, figure out what your strength is that you can provide and then play to that particular thing for your consumers. So whatever it happens to be. So we just chose that one, and it seems to work out really well. So.
One last little thing I'll do is back to the employees. Nothing aggravates me more, I'm old school retail, than to see my employees standing around doing nothing. To me, that means you're paying them and the clock is ticking, and so is your cash flow. So what I started about 15 years ago is this stupid little pad by my cash register, and it says to do. And so every time I think of anything, every time I walk by something, every time one of the other employees sees something that needs to be done, it gets written down on there. And so the kids, the adults, we all know, we walk over to the to-do and it goes, oh yeah, wash the bird window. We have a big viewing window. And the birds fly up against it and it gets poop and bird whatever's on it. And so somebody will go out and wash the bird window. Things get done on a real quick, easy, and it's stupid, simple thing. It's just this yellow pad that says to do. And everybody buys into it. You know, everybody sees something and they just write it down real quick. And it's not a hierarchy type thing. It's everybody working together as a team to get the jobs done, to keep things vacuumed, to keep things whatever, fill the feeders. You'll about walk by the window and the peanut feeder is empty or whatever. And you just write it down real quick, or one of us will go out and do it. And I've found that this stupid little 4x6 sheet of paper has made my employees so much more productive, and me too, because it reminds me to do things also. I'm part of the troop. Any questions? Okay.
That's a really good idea. My whole thing is customer service. Whatever you can do customer service. We are not the cheapest birdseed. We're not the cheapest town. It's harder to get to you. I mean, face it, we're all a discretionary income business in most cases. So what they're looking for is not so much the value in the dollar, but the value of the business. So whether it's carrying birdseed to the car, during the pandemic, we were shut down for 6 weeks, and you're like, oh, how are you going to do that? And I just put out there, we'll do free delivery. Like, you don't want to charge? Where are you going to do it? I said, I don't care anywhere. It's 20 miles. I'll just go for a drive. I have nothing else to do. You know, and what was interesting is that people loved it. One, they wanted to keep us in business. They call, like, how can I help you? What do you need? And we're like, we'll buy bird seed. We'll deliver it. It also gave me a chance to see bird feeder, long-term bird feeders' yards that I, for years, have never seen their yards. And everybody was home, so you got to put it there, knock, walk back, go, hi, and leave. I got cookies, I got a $20 tip, you would be amazed what you got. And people are like, well, I'll come visit you. And then we started doing curb service if they wanted. But we still do curb service, we still do free delivery. But again, it's all about what makes it easy for the customer. And for us, it's customer service, hands down. Gift certificates, free gift wrapping, delivery. You know, people will call and say, I want a gift certificate. And we'll say, do you want us to mail it to you, to them, or do you want us to deliver it? And like, you'll deliver it? And I'm like, sure, I'll deliver someone's gift certificate. Like, it's a $100 gift certificate. That's better than $5 worth of birdseed. So, anyway, questions?
One of the benefits of deliver, we keep all of our big bags of seed in a mini volume right beside the store. And so one of the side benefits of doing this for the last few years is how incredibly strong I've gotten
Yeah.
maybe a 10-pounder stuck in there, and, so don't mess with it.
That's impressive. Well, we for 19 years had a store that you literally parked right in front of the store. I mean, it was like 10 feet, so it's easy to deliver, things to people's cars because you could see customers coming in. And when we moved, it was more downtown parking, and that was my big fear, is that we wouldn't have people be able to reach us from parking. And they're all like, "You have so much more parking here." I'm like, seriously? It's a half a block a walk to your car. There's 5 spots versus 10, but in their perception, and so we have carts. We do carts and take them out.
Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about, being open to new products and ideas. We have 2 cats that live in our store full time, and we're called the Bird House, and most everything in the store is bird related, but my wife said our supplier of our seed also carries cat food, dog foods, and kitty litter. And the kitty litter we've used for our own cats are pretty good kitty litter. It's a good price, good quality, less than tidy cat. I'm going to start stocking kitty litter in the store. No, we're a bird store. We don't sell kitty litter, but we decided that we would vote on it, the 2 of us. It was a close vote, 1-1, and I lost. Yeah, so we started stocking kitty litter, and within 6 months, it was probably our #1 selling item in the store was kitty litter. We were going through a lot of litter, so that was a pretty good deal. I was pretty happy with that, but she said, I think we could start selling dog and cat food. And I said, again, we're a bird store and kitty litter, but, I don't think we should be selling dog and cat food. We voted on it again, same results. Started selling dog and cat food. Again, within about 6 months, we were selling more dog and cat foods than we were bird seed. It turned out to be a really good seller for us. And unlike bird seed, there's not a problem with it, but in the wintertime, some of the people won't go out and fill their feeders because it's too far to go. You get that up and down motion with hummingbirds and orioles, people come to your store, but when they leave, then the sales decline again. Dog and cat food is steady. I mean, people, they're like their children. They're always going to feed them every single month. And a 40, 50-pound bag of dog food, it sells for a lot more than just a 40-pound bag of black oil, so it's not a bad deal. So again, keep an open mind to possibly new products that may not have been, something you initially started out in your store.
Yeah, Butch. Yeah, good idea there.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, good.
Selling a select dog and cat food, or are you?
Actually, yeah, that's one of the things that we really were lucky on. We sell, it's called a Victor and a Taste of the Wild. It's like a 4- and 5-star food. It's like top of the line. Every major big box store out there sells Iams and Purina and Beneful, and that stuff is really bad for your animal. If you really do the research on it, it's not a good dog food to sell. And we've had people done, that have Great Danes and fairly expensive dogs, and they've actually done their homework, and they sought us out, saying, okay, you guys sell Victor, that's the food I want, so we have a pretty loyal clientele. We don't have to compete on price, even though we're fairly competitive. We're not arm and a leg higher than the big box stores, but we are selling a very good brand of food.
What was the second brand?
Taste of the Wild.
Taste of the Wild is Toughies. It's out of Minnesota. We carry it too.
That's what Butch took quick.
Yeah, not a problem. I don't know how many of you folks have only been here to the expo just once, their first time. I highly recommend walking the warehouse, okay? He's talking about finding new products for the store. Every time I come to this thing, I literally take about 3 to almost 4 hours and literally walk every aisle of the warehouse, up and down the whole thing, looking at everything, handling it, touching it, lifting it, finding out what kind of quality it is, looking at the price to find out if it's way out of line or way out of whack or something like that from what I have in my mind about other substitutes. But definitely it's worth walking the warehouse and doing that sort of thing. I can't emphasize it enough. We have found boatloads of stuff that way by doing it because you just can't find it on the website. It's not an easy thing to search, so it's definitely a way to go. Well, I think Stan's coming in here pretty soon. Appreciate you guys once again. Take care, and we'll see you at the next one.